Hi everyone, good evening, and hey, first and foremost, Happy New Year. 3rd of January 2019. Wow, where's the time gone, huh? Now, before I go on, please let me know that you can see me and hear me, please. There's a few on here that we run the weekly webinar, so you guys know what the buttons are, so if you could just let me know. That would be good, and then we'll get cracking on goal setting. Now, it's not going to be one of those sessions where we get all technical and show you a load of slides. I can tell you this, there's not one slide that you're going to see. Thanks, Jack. Seeing here, thank you, Sarah. Good. So I'll carry on. It's not one of those technical things, and I'm not going to quote you a load of bullshit from other people. This is what I do. This is how I set goals. A lot of what I do and how I set goals, I've learned from other people, both in the UK, Australia, and in America. And I haven't taken one person and said, right, we're going to do this and that's the gospel. And we're going to do this and that's the gospel. I've taken snippets of everything that I've learned through the years, and there's a few of them, and I've tried and tested a few things, and there's SMART goals, there's this goal, there's that goal, whatever. There's all these little acronyms and systems that people get together. Do they work? Well, yes for some people and no for others. So if you're anything like me, I'm not much of a stickler for detail in certain things. When it comes down to doing something, like if I wrote a book, I'd be quite detailed. When I do my courses, I'm pretty detailed. I need to make sure that everyone gets the information that you get. So those who know me, those who've been on my courses, this is going to be, you're going to get a lot of content here. You're going to get a lot of information. And at the end of it, it will help you set goals if you don't have any goals, or it will help you, more importantly, achieve your goals. And that's what we all want to do, right? I say to people, like the people we mentor, why do you want me to mentor you? What is it that you want? And some people say, I just want a lot of money. I want to be rich. Okay, well, what do you want to be rich for? I just want to be rich. And those people don't end up mentoring because it's just a complete waste of time, because they have no goals. They have no reason why they need to be there and to do things. So where do I start? So let's get straight into it. Enough for all the fluff. Let's get into it. So where do I start? So you've got to sit down by yourself. You don't want to sit in a cafe and look around and see other people coming, because they're just bloody distractions, right? I at times have got in my car and driven for many miles and sat in a bloody field in the countryside, fieldside, roadside in the field type of thing, whatever, shut my car off, laid back, relaxed, and then I know I've got my phone off, I can't be contacted, that I'm in my zone. I know that that's where I'm going to do my best thinking. And it's also, you need to be creative in your thinking. So if I say to you now, what's your number one goal next year? I want to make money. I want to make 10 grand a month. I want to make 5 grand a month. I want to make 100 grand a month. I want to make $1 million, £1 million, or I want to buy a Ferrari, or all this other spanking crap, right? You're not sitting down thinking about it because you've got distractions. If you're at work or if you're talking to me, you've got distractions. So you need to get in a place that you're comfortable, away from everyday things, and where your mind is just there. You're focused on you. And then this is when you start thinking to yourself, what have I achieved? In other words, I'm 47 years old. What have I done in these 47 years? Even from day one. Yeah, I was born, had a bit of help, did this. Yeah, someone helped me walk. But eventually it was me who walked and who ran. But you need to think to yourself, right, when I started working, why did I? Some of you will be in the job now, whether younger or older than me. You might still be in the same job or the same profession of what you started out as. And the sad thing is that most people fall into the job that they are doing now, or into the profession that they're doing now. Not many people have actually chosen to do what it is they're doing today. So, for instance, when I was young, you know, I worked in the mines, and I didn't have a goal to go work in the mines. All I wanted to do was make money. So I worked in the mines in Australia. You can imagine how hot it was. I didn't do it for long, but I did it long enough to make some money to get into something else. Then I went into sales and that type of thing. Did I ever set myself a goal to go and sell shit? No, it wasn't. I never thought about it. And I thought I was young, I was stupid. And I know there's a couple of guys on here who are 21, 22 that I've spoken to before. Hi, Ian. And, you know, these people make me tick because I know that I'm helping you think differently to how I did when I was 21, 22. And if I get you on the ladder now to the right thinking and setting your goals, and the fact that you're even on here on a goal-setting webinar, hats off to you. This is awesome work. And I'll be glad if I get to that one person. If I get to you tonight, Ian, I'll be happy. And obviously everyone else here. But I'll be happy because I know Ian and I've met Ian, and I know that he's got a good head on his shoulder, and he's keen to get out there and help others as well as himself. So you've got to write down your dream. And when you're sitting there, like I did in the car, take a pen, take a piece of paper, and start writing stuff down. And you've got to say it out loud, which is why it's probably not good to do it in a public place, because people might think you're a bit bloody loony. So you've got to sit there and say to yourself, right, I really, really want to earn at least 10 grand a month by the end of 2019. In fact, I know that I need to earn 6 grand a month. And if I earn 10 grand a month, I've got 4 grand more to do something that I want, and great stuff. But it doesn't stop there. And you've got to say to yourself, okay, why do I want this? Why do I want this money? Now I'm talking out loud. This is me. You're copying me, right? So this is me thinking. So if I'm sitting here and this year I say to myself, right, I want to hit £1 million this year. So I'm telling you what I'm thinking. I want to make £1 million this year. Forget cash flow. Forget the cash. My cash flow sorted. I can up my cash flow whenever I want because of the systems that we've got in place and the businesses that we have. So cash flow I'm sorted. But I'm now thinking, right, I want to do some more big capital shots, you know, do some developments, you know, might not even touch a brick. I might just get the planning and then just, you know, sell it off. But, you know, do 3 of those, I make 300-400 grand. Great, I've got my $1 million. So I've got to think to myself, right, Ash, right? So you've got your number for £1 million. Do I need the £1 million? It's not about the £1 million. It's a nice number. And I can say to myself, at the end of 2019, I hit my goal. I made £1 million. Bingo. Plus the other stuff, you know, business. So this is a bit of a toy, a bit of a hobby for me that I want to achieve, just to say to myself, well done, old boy. I'm not going to go out there and tell the world, you know, I'm fairly humble in my success. There are people out there on the internet who want to tell you exactly what they do. They drive fucking pink Ferraris or Range Rovers and they say, you know, do this, do that, whatever. So that's shit. So I want to hit £1 million. Now, then I have to say to myself, right, how am I going to make £1 million in 12 months? And I haven't even started yet. I haven't even started. You know, I've done some planning. But it's day 3 of 2019. I've done nothing for it except a bit of planning and talking to myself and whatever. What you got to do is you got to think to yourself, right, can I do this on my own? Now, I could, but I'd probably struggle and make it hard, and then I wouldn't enjoy it. So then I say to myself, right, who do I know that can help me pull in £1 million this year? Then I think about the people that I know and I go, right, go through the list. You know, there's probably 3 or 4 people. Go through those 4 people. And I've already contacted 2 of those people and they've agreed to help me. The other 2 I haven't actually contacted yet. So I know that I've got a 100% hit rate so far on the help that I need. They then say, you know, what's in it for me? And I say, well, you know, we'll do this. We'll do it together. We go 50-50. So then I know that, okay, if I'm going to work with one other person, I'm going to go 50-50. We've actually got to make £2 million. Do you see what I mean? So all of a sudden, I'm starting to now think, right, maybe I need to work with not just one person, but maybe 2 people, maybe 3 people, maybe 4 people that I can work on 4 different projects together. Now, I'm property centric. This could be anything that you could do. It could be if you're at work, it could be, right, how do I get a pay rise this year? Right, maybe if I could double my workload, let's face it, right, most people get the bloody job done in about 20 hours. You've got 38 you're doing at work, or 40 or 50. Most of your work you get done in probably, you know, a good 2/3 of that time. So you've still got a third of that time. If you really want something, you could step up to the plate. I know when I used to work in the JOB world, I'd get my work done and I'd have most Fridays off, most Thursday afternoons. I don't know why I'm whispering because everyone knows it now. And I'd be off and I'd hit my numbers and I'd do my thing and off I went. But I knew that if I wanted to inject a bit more income into my bank account, I'd just work a few more hours because I knew what I was doing. I was educated and I knew what I did. So I've got these people lined up, right? They can help me, yeah. Okay, so I need to find some projects and I know the areas I'm going to do. And then I say to myself, okay, do I have all the latest information, the education about how I can find these deals in the right areas? Because we're looking at commercial, right? To do these commercial deals. Like, okay, yeah, I do, but I probably need a bit more education. So I've booked myself onto 2 courses already. Yes, I go on courses and it's about $7 grand or whatever. But, you know, $7 grand, tax man goes, hey, it's education, mate. Well, take that off as the profit. So quid's in there if you like. Plus I get educated and what's $7 grand if you're going to make £1 million? You've got to then think about how much money do I need to invest in something to be able to achieve my goals. Now, you know, in service accommodation that we do, people invest, you know, money with me. They come and get educated and they go off and they do their thing. And if they want mentoring, they want mentoring. They spend a bit more. It's quicker. They do their thing. So I've got to think, how quick do I want this? And then you get to the stage of, right, so if I'm going to do £1 million, I need to get a project ready in the next 3 to 4 months because, you know, it's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9 months before I realize the money. Yes? Could. It's not about me saying, yeah, I've got the deal and I get paid in 2 or 3 years. That's no good. So am I putting pressure on myself? Shit, yeah. Then you've got to think to yourself, is it realistic? Is it achievable? Well, this is what you need to think. And is it achievable? Most people would say, I don't have time. So if you don't have time, like I said, you're doing your 20 hours a week, but really you got 38. Do you have that extra 18 hours a week to be able to work on something else? Is that enough time? If it's not, then I need to employ other people to help me and leverage other people's time. If I don't know other people, I need to speak to other people who may know other people. So setting a goal is not just about saying, oh, I want to earn £1 million or I want to earn 10 grand a month. So let's break it down into, you know, most people come to me and I want to earn 10 grand a month. So they say, Ash, and I'm making it relevant to property. I'm not trying to sell you anything here because we're not selling anything tonight. I just want you guys to make a change, set goals and achieve them. So most people come to me and they say 10 grand a month is a good round figure. And I say, okay, no problem. What are you going to do for your 10 grand a month? Well, I'm going to come on your course. Okay, cool. That's good. That's taking action. What are you going to do after that? Well, we're going to look for deals. Okay, where are you going to look for deals? I'm going to look in this area. I'm going to look in that area, Oxford, Cambridge, whatever. Okay, do you know how much this? Do you know how much that? How much time is it going to take? What's it going to take to what's the investment needed from you? What's your return on investment? How quickly will you realize, you know, your money from your first deal? How quickly will you realize your 10 grand a month? You know, you want it by the end of the year. I know that, but with, you know, realistically, can you achieve that in 3 months or 4 months or 5 months? So, well, okay, you know, maybe with your help, I can achieve it in 3 months, or maybe I can do it on my own in 3 months, whatever it takes. And they go off and they do their thing. And sometimes they come back and say, shit, I've hit a hurdle and away you go. And what we do to make it accountable, because you need to be accountable. And the number one thing that you need, listen to this, the number one thing that you need is a goal buddy. Somebody who goes, so how's it going today, Ash? Well, you know, don't know. It's 7:45 and I've been watching TV and EastEnders or Procrastination Street or whatever's on, and you know, Phil's died again, and you know, that's it. You know, I'm going to get back into the set the goals tomorrow. Okay, but it's July, mate. You know, basically your goal that you set in January is now completely unrealistic. So you need to squash that goal and rethink. Either you cut your number in half or you set another goal. So you need somebody who's making you accountable. So every Monday we make people accountable on the webinars. So you need to be, and it can be, you need someone who you know is a bit of a pain in the ass. It's not going to be your best mate. It's not going to be your mum, your dad, your wife, your husband. You can't have that. It's going to be someone that you know that's going to phone you up. And, you know, you can do it Monday mornings or do it Friday afternoons. Pick one day a week, and you must do it weekly, where you actually have a meeting. And you could do it on Skype where you have face-to-face, because it's better to have face-to-face. And, you know, and if you are achieving your goal and you've hit the actions that you've had to do, then you will say, hey, I've done this. But if not, you watch them. I twist my ankle this week, run over a cat. Don't know, you know what happened, but ran out in the street. Your dog pooed on the carpet. Yeah, and I say anything except what they've been doing, because they've done nothing. They've got nothing to say. But you need someone who's going to make you accountable and remind you. You need to write down why you want all of this and remind you, Ash, you said you wanted this because of this, and this. Where's this gone? Where's that gone? Are these not your goals anymore? Is this not your why anymore? Is this not what you're looking for? You know, you said you want one of your goals was to improve, you know, maybe the English language, I don't know, and you wanted to achieve greatness in golf, or, you know, you wanted to make that £1 million for the year. And yet what I'm seeing here at the moment, 2 weeks in, it's all out the bloody window. Yeah, are we wasting each other's time here? Should we click on and set another goal that we do nothing, or see how many episodes of bloody EastEnders we can watch this week? You know, and you need to make it accountable. You need someone who's quite direct and sharp with you. And I'm pretty good at being a goal buddy, but I can't be everyone's goal buddy. I do that on Mondays. All right. So one of the other things that you need to think about before you set your goals is about your mindset. Because your mindset and the psychology of achieving a goal will either make you or break you. And this is why so many New Year's resolutions get squashed within 2 or 3 weeks. You know, I went down to the gym yesterday. I couldn't get in. All these people lining up for the new memberships. And yet in December, hey, where is everyone? No one's here. And they come in here, and I can tell you this, by the first week in February, the gym's back to where it was in December, because they've given it, oh, stuff this, to go back home. But they've wasted their money on a gym membership, and people do that on all sorts of things. They do it on property courses. They do it on trading courses. They do it on jobs or whatever, you know, or getting a job. And then, well, you're nothing like you were on the interview. You know, you just sail by and do what you do, but you're not actually going to achieve anything. Now, getting back to the mindset, I'm only going to quote one other person once, and that's this once. Tony Robbins. I'm sure some of you have seen him. More of a preacher, really, than a teacher. Some people love him. Some people hate him. His Marmite, whatever. I'm kind of neutral on the guy. Seen him once. That's enough for me. But from what I have seen, I have learned a lot. And one of the things he talks about, and there's probably 3 or 4 things that really stick in my mind from Tony Robbins. And one of the key things is your 6 human needs. And some of you may already know this. And they are certainty, and then uncertainty or variety. And then you've got significance, love and connection. So these are all things that we crave as humans. And then you've got growth and contribution. So I only started using this 2 years ago when setting my goals. These 6 human needs. And you have to, in my opinion, you have to relate them to what choices you're making. Because if you don't, then you're probably not making the right choices for the right reasons. Now, why do I say this? Because I know that I set goals, the goals that I've set since I started adding this into the mix. I'm like, wow. You know, people talk about the law of attraction. I'm not a key fan of the law of attraction, because if I sat here like this and I said, you know, drew you a picture of a house that I liked, and I sat here under my ass for the next 10 years doing nothing, and then all of a sudden the house appears, that ain't going to happen. The house will only appear if I do what I know I had to do to get there. This is the reverse engineering. I say to myself, I want to build a house in 5 years' time. It's going to be made of this brick. The windows are going to be this color. The furniture is going to be this. It's going to be a spiral staircase. It's going to be a grand staircase. It's going to have 17 bedrooms. Not for me, but you know, it's going to be 10,000, 12,000 square foot. It's going to be on 10 acres of land with luscious trees. We have 2 cars parked. One's going to be red. One's going to be white. Whatever. And you have this vision, because you must have a vision when you're setting your goals. And that vision is, that's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. You start with your life goal, which is your entire life, and then you reverse engineer it back. How do I get to 80? How do I get to 70? How do I get to 60? How do I get to 50? How do I get to 40, 30, or whatever age you are, 20 maybe. And then you say, right, these are the little steps I must take to get there. These are the goals that you must take to get to the 10,000. Once I get to the 10,000, I'm free. Stage 1 is done. Stage 2 is where I want to start creating wealth and long-term wealth. So by the time I'm 40, if you're 20, or by the time I'm 50, when you're 40 or whatever, you can know that you're sitting back on the beach in Dubai, wherever it is you want to go, Skegness, and you know that you're earning money if you're not off and have a few 40 winks here and there, or have a sneaky ice cream and have to go to the gym a couple of hours longer. You know what I mean? You've achieved it. You're there. And once you get to a level, your money just keeps growing. It goes like that. You put weed killer on money when you get to a certain stage and you wee on it, it still keeps growing. It becomes immune to all of these things that you try to kill it with, unless you go and spank it on gambling or something like that. But you see what I mean? It just continues to grow year on year on year on year on year. So fantastic. That's where property's good. So getting back to your mindset. So think about certainty. Certainty is safety. And I'll tell you what, you know, getting back to having a certain amount of money, a certain amount of income, you got the bills, you got this financial freedom. It's not just financial freedom, like being free of money. It's being free of the worry of the bloody money. You know? And it's not the worry of the money, it's the worry of not having the money, or not being able to earn the money, or not being able to, you know, turn the old notch up a little bit to say, right, I'll get a couple more deals, property deals, we'll bring a bit more money in. You know, me talking about, you know, let's have a little bit of a punt this year. Let's see if we can make £1 million, you know, on top of what we do. You know, the income. I mean, in November, December, my wife and I and our businesses, we had the best month we've ever had. And we didn't really do anything different. There was no law of attraction. We just worked hard, and it's evolving. It's happening. I can't explain how it happens, but once you get to that point, some of you on here, I know you are at this point, and you're just like, where does it keep coming from? The first money is the hardest to make. Once you made that money and you reinvest it, it just keeps coming back and back and back and back. It's like, you know, what do I do with this? And that's when you get to the stage where, oh, you know, I don't have enough time to spend all the money or invest the money or do what I'm doing. You know, I'm helping others. That's why people get to a certain level and they go, well, I'll give some to charity. I'll do this. I'll do that. You know, there's just too much to go around. So your certainty is your safety, right? And that's your financial freedom. I'm not worrying about anything. I'm here. I'm a rock. The family's taken care of. My kids are going to school they want to. And, you know, I'm driving a car I want to, whether it's a bloody Ford Fiesta or whatever it is you want to drive. And I'm living in this house. I'm living in this house. I've got a ride on mower or whatever. So you've got your safety. You've got your certainty. However, the flip side of that, as a human need, we need uncertainty. We need, what's the word? Variety. So you need to set yourself challenges. So what am I doing? I've got my certainty, I've got my safety, but what I'm doing this year is creating a bit of variety. Come on, let's get off your ass and go and do something. Let's do this. You know, create some change. And the people I talk to who come to me is, please help me, man. I need some cash flow. You know, I'm on the skin of my ass. I need to make some money. Cool, let's do it. That is massive change for a lot of people because you have this. You know, my wife and I talk about this, like you have this script that you were brought up with. And this is nothing against your parents or anything like this. This is just the way the world works. You get this script and you know, oh, you're just like your father. Your granddad was the same. Your great-granddad was the same. Or your mother did this. Your grandmother did this. And you just morph into that mold because you're doing what you've been taught. You know, with me, Maybe, my wife's like, maybe I have too much and crave too much uncertainty, too much variety, too much change, because I get like this, like, I get a bit twitchy. Let's go and do something. It's not because I want to earn the money. I just want to set myself a challenge, because I say, yeah, I can do this. Let's go and do it. Otherwise, seriously, I would go bloody round the bend. I would be loopy if I did not set myself a challenge. And what do you do when you set yourself a challenge? You set yourself a goal. You challenge yourself. If you like working for someone else, go in tomorrow and say, right, what can I do to make a bit of change around here? You'll be surprised in the corporate world how one small little thing can make a big, massive tsunami happen in the market, in your workplace. Excuse me. And then 3, significance is where you want to feel special. You want to feel needed. You want to feel wanted. If you're married, what am I doing? Why am I doing all this? I never get any thanks. And then your partner comes in one day and goes, you know what? You're really good at what you do, and this family just wouldn't be the same without you. I've got my significance. However, in the world of finance or whatever it is you want to do, it could be weight loss. If you want to, if you put on an extra couple of kilos over Christmas, you think, oh, I feel like crap. Everyone's looking at you, and no one says to you, no, you look like you put on a couple of kilos. They just look at you like, fucking hell, mate. Well, they might say, you had a big turkey for Christmas, did you? Lots of Christmas pudding. And then you go and lose that weight, and then guess what happens? Somebody says to you, wow, you look a bit thinner in the face. You lost weight. You've been in the gym or something. Really? Oh. And then all of a sudden you're like this, you're like this. Now, for me, if I go out and help somebody achieve that £10,000 a month, and there's some of you on here who are actually doing 28, 30 grand a month, then to me, that's like, yeah, I feel significant helping you. But then the person I'm helping, they're like, wow, how significant do they feel? Because they've now created and change variety for their entire family around them. Get what I mean? So you see how these are now, you have to think about these things to set the right goals. And it actually gets you thinking. If you go through the 6 human needs and relate it to what you do and what you want and how you are, it will create the change and create the goals for you, because it is specifically down to you and your personal human needs and what you want. And then the 4th one is like love and connect. Everyone wants a bit of love and connection, right? So you want to feel wanted, you want to feel unified, and these type of things. And unification can come from, remember I said at the start, there's 2, 3, maybe 4 people that I can work with. Fantastic. That, to me, you're having that connection. You work with people. And remember the one big point I made? Having the goal buddy. That's having connection. Even if they're on your bloody shoulder saying, come on, get a move on, you've got that connection. You've got that connection once a week. That's why we do the webinars once a week. That's why I offer to the people I mentor, phone, WhatsApp, email, whatever you want to do, make connection. And you might think it's just me helping you out with silly questions or whatever. No, nothing's a silly question. But there's a whole process part of that as well. I do that because I want you to not feel alone out there creating that 10 grand a month, creating that financial freedom, creating that safety, that significance, achieving that challenge, achieving those goals and making you feel significance and giving you that connection. So all of these, this is how we morph it all in. And once you set your goals and you have these things set up, you might sit there now and think, what the fuck is he going on about? I don't get this. 6 human needs, all I need is a beer and a bloody curry on a Friday night and I'm happy. If you go through and you do follow what I'm trying to tell you here, it will click. It will click into place in the next 2 months. I guarantee if it doesn't phone me up, you're doing it wrong. And then you've got your 5th human need, which is growth. Now, growth is personal or financial or whatever it is, development within you. Now, if I said to you, what were you doing 10 years ago? Well, no, forget that. What were you doing in the year 2000, which is now 19 years ago? 19 years ago. The Olympics were 7 years ago in London. We've actually had another Olympics since, there's another one coming up. So what were you doing then that's different to what you're doing now? Now, I can tell you this, if it's the same bloody thing, then you're stuck in bloody hyperspace doing nothing. You're just going round and round and round and round. You're orbiting the bloody moon every day and nothing's changing. So you need to make sure that your goals challenge you enough to help you develop into either a better person, a more significant person, or, you know, a more lovable person, more contactable person, whatever it might be. And on top of that, you know, you get variety because you're meeting other people and this type of thing. There's somebody said to me the other day, oh, I'm single, when you get a boyfriend. Well, I reckon you're doing something wrong. You know, good looking girl, you're doing something wrong, my dear, because, you know, you got this, you got that. Told her about the 6 human needs. She's now off on a couple of dates. I don't know if at the same time on Saturday night. She's got a couple of dates lined up. So she hasn't had a date in 2 years. So great, huh? So the 6th one, and by far not the least, this one I would put at my number 1, is contribution. You need, you know, think of Christmas just gone. If you sat there, you opened up all your prezzies, and everyone sat there like, well, where's mine? Oh, no, I don't give presents. I just take presents. I don't give presents. Right? Thanks anyway. Well, I'll see you later. I'll be home for my lunch. Get snappy, get cooking. What do you contribute? You're not contributing. You just take. You're not giving. So how do you give? How do you care for others? You know, what do you do? And some people always think of contribution as protecting others. You know, not I mean protecting like freeze, don't move. I mean protecting like, you know, making sure they're okay, making sure that, you know, protection, giving them their safety, giving them their certainty in life to make sure that they can go through life and not have to worry about anything. You know, husband looks after me, wife looks after me, brother looks after me, mate looks after me, whatever it might be, and vice versa. You look after each other, which is again contribution. It's like the circle, if you like. So if you think of these, I know, hold on as long as you can. I mean, I was going to go half an hour, but if it's good for you, we'll keep going. Are you learning something? Is it good? This is all recorded. Yes, this is all recorded. Yes, good. So some of you just said, what are the 6 human needs? So number 1, certainty, which is creating safety around you. Number 2 is uncertainty, the opposite, if you like. However, it's variety. It's creating challenges for yourself, change as well. Then number 3 was significance, like you want to feel wanted, you want to feel needed, you want to feel part of something. You know, that's why I never work alone. I like to work with other people. When I'm talking about the other 4 people, I like to just, you know, I like to work with other people because number 1, you've got the goal buddy, you know, making you accountable or keeping you accountable, and you do vice versa. You know, do the same. You know, find someone that you know and just do that. Number 4 is love, connection. So we all want to feel loved, but it's about that communication, if you want, and feeling wanted. But it's also being part of a bit of a gang. You know, there's gangs. You know, there's humans. You know, we don't like to be alone. We like to be, you know, go and socialize. We're part of a gang. So you want to have business partners that you work with and that type of thing. You know, my wife works with her business partner Emma, and you know, they're like good buddies, and they tell each other they're dickheads every now and then, and they tell each other they love each other, and they make plenty of money from their businesses. And then number 5 is your growth. You know, you got to create, you got to develop yourself and keep cracking. Number 6 is your contribution. You know, you got to be able to give to people, protect people, giving them their significance, that type of thing. Good. So there's a few more questions here. Cool. Reverse engineering. What is it? So, like I said, don't just say, I want to earn 10 grand a month. You say to yourself, and this is how I do it. You've got to go to the end. And this is when I say reverse engineer. You don't build it from here. You build it from the end. I'm not saying morbidly saying I'm going to live till I'm 100, I'm going to live till I'm 9, I'm going to live till I'm 7 or whatever. You say to yourself, the end of my life, whatever it is, I want to be able to sit there, bounce my grandkids on my knees or whatever it is, you know, or have a beer with a mate and say, and go through your 6 human needs. I contributed here, I created this, I gave safety there, I developed myself here, I did that, I helped others, I gave this, I gave that, blah, 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 blah. You know, presidents, right? Presidents and prime ministers, when they leave, all you ever hear about the last month before they leave office is Obama's doing this to create his legacy. And his legacy was the healthcare thing. What did Trump do? That old meanie comes in, smashes his legacy out of the ballpark, get lost. Now, if you were President Trump and your 6 human needs, he's looking for significance all the time. I want to feel wanted. I want to feel needed. And if I don't, I'm going to make you feel insignificant. You know, he's a mean old person. Anyway, so yes, that's reverse engineering. And then you say, right, so if I say, right, I want to be able to say, yeah, I contributed here, I gave to these people, helped people, I brought my kids up like this, I did this for them, and they went out and they created life, and I look at them and say, yeah, okay, you know, part of what I did is help them to do that. They become their own person, you know, whatever it might be. And then I've taken care of my family, I've done this, I've done that, I've helped other people, like some of you here, create financial freedom and do what they've got to do. And then you say, right, how the hell am I going to achieve that? How am I going to get to that? So then you say to yourself, right, so if I'm going to help other people, how the hell am I going to help other people? I'm sitting here in my office at the moment, I'm able to get work, I'm earning 30 grand a year and I'm stamping bloody bits of paper, whatever it is I'm doing, I'm clicking on here, you know, Facebook half the day and doing, you know, I don't know, invoices or whatever, so someone else's business. And you think to yourself, how the hell am I going to achieve that? You will not achieve it until you get a piece of paper and a pen and you get on here and you go, life. What do I want to create for my life? Now, things happen in your life that you can't avoid and you can't do this and that and blah, blah, blah. That's the thing, right? You might have a 2 or 3 years hiccup. I've got a friend who's been in a wheelchair now for 2 years. He's T4. So he can't feel from anything down here. His business still operates just like it did when he was fully fledged walking around, running around. He's in the Bahamas still at the moment. He went there for Christmas. He's got this thing where he can go along the beach, got tracks on his wheelchair. He sent me a video of him snorkeling on the beach. Is he sticking to his life goal? Damn straight he is. And I'll tell you what. Makes me a bit emotional, that one. He's sticking to his life goals. He's doing what he promised and set out to do in life. Regardless if he can bloody walk or if he has to wheel himself around, he doesn't give a stuff. Does he get sad and does he get upset? Man, of course he does. You know, we have a tear together. We have a little cry and I wish I could just go abracadabra, could walk again. And, you know, of course he's going to have these ups and downs. That's where it is. However, you need to stick to the number one plan, and that is your life goal. And then from there, you say to yourself, right, financial, where do I want to be? Then you do achievements. What do you want to achieve in life? And then you do your improvement goals. What do I want to improve this year? What do I want to improve on in the next 3, 4, 5 years? So the goals that you set, number one, your life goal, what you want out of life and what you can contribute, be giving to around your 6 human needs. And then from there, financially, where do you want to be? Do you need only 20 grand a year? Do you need 50 grand a year? Do you need 250? Do you need $500,000? Do you want to earn significant amounts of money that it doesn't bother you? Then from there, you have to say, how much of that am I going to give as part of my contribution? Or am I going to give my time away as part of that contribution and help others? You know, my son said to me today, we're driving along. He's 6 years old, bless him. We're driving along. We're on our own. And he says, we went past this field with like broken up old trees and stuff. And he looked at me, he said, No, Dad, you wouldn't want to live there if you're homeless, would you? And I looked at him and I went, well, why do you say that? It's not a bad spot. Oh, no, look at the wind come across and it's freezing cold out there at the moment. You'd want at least some shelter. Like, he's 6 years old. Where's he getting all this stuff about homeless? Because sometimes I sit him down when they don't really appreciate what they have. And we watch, YouTube videos and stuff on lesser people who are not so fortunate of, not their own free will of, they're falling into it by whatever terms, so they can't help it. And then he said to me, which melted my heart, he said, can we go to the post office and get some envelopes? I said, yeah, who do you want to send letters to? I know, I think then after that, if we can go to the bank. And I said, well, yeah, what do you want to get the bank for? He said, well, the money that I've got saved up. Oh. He said, we'll take that out and we'll give the homeless people some money. Oh. So set your life goals. Make sure that they include your financial number that you can, that you're either comfortable with or you want to get to be able to achieve greatness or enough to be able to protect and take care of family members or whoever it might be, brothers, sisters, or whatever, if you're not the marrying type. And then your achievements, like what do you want to achieve in life? Do you want to be able to, like my son, help the homeless, or do you want to be like really good at golf, or do you want to be good at football, whatever it might be? What do you want to achieve in life? It may be that my number one achievement is connected to my financial numbers, and that is that I never have to worry about any money, and I can give to people if I need to give to people, whatever it might be. You can tell them a lot about giving to people. And then improvements, it might be, how do I improve this year to get to my ultimate life goal? Because you don't want to say to yourself, right, today I'm a bit of a mad case, and I'm out all the time, and I'm just an animal, and I drink like mad. And you might say to yourself, right, I'm going to hit my life goal tomorrow. It's all going to change. Probably not possible, right? It needs to be relevant. So little steps create the big picture, if you like. So you need to say to yourself, okay, so today I'm not very good at writing. Maybe I need to pick up a grammar or whatever it might be. So I'll go on a writing course and maybe learn some grammar or do an online course. And great, by the end of the year, you might be writing in bloody calligraphy and writing backwards and in Japanese and Chinese or whatever it might be. Whatever your goal is, you've made that improvement. Now, that improvement must be linked to the ultimate life goal. Because if it's not, you're going to be a little course junkie. This is why in property, I meet a lot of course junkies, because they have no idea really what it is that they want to do. I look on Facebook sometimes and I see somebody saying, John did this and wow. Then I see another person doing training. Oh, the same John. I see another person, and I've seen this same John across about 8 different bloody people and courses blowing their trumpets. I'm like, oh no, John, what have you done? You sold yourself to everyone. And John, not his real name, must have spent 50 grand. That's without the bloody mentoring. Must have spent 50 grand on these courses. I'm like, and why? Because he has no life goal. He doesn't know what he needs to improve on to get to that end achievement, that end challenge. So your challenge, your number one challenge is set your life goal and then set your goals around achieving that life goal. If at the moment you're thinking, I don't bloody know what I want to do, go and speak to your mates and say to them, "Oi, John, what do you think I'm good at?" They might say, "Oh, fuck, you talk a lot, you swear a lot, but you're pretty helpful, and you do this, and you look after people if they need it, and you can draw good pictures of houses or whatever, and you drive good, and you do this, and you give good hugs or whatever, and they might sort of start to say, the next person might say, you know what, you're really good at communication. You're fantastic at communication. You're very motivational. Then the next person might say, you're really good with numbers, man. Like, you know, I ask you numbers, you go bang, bang, bang. So you start to think, okay, what can I start to adapt that to create my life goal? What am I good at? Don't go trying to be a bloody developer or running hotels if you don't want to do that. If you don't like doing it, don't do it, because you'll stop in a year if you're lucky. It might be less than that. Don't do it just for the money. Do something you love. You know, I was talking to my wife the other day, and she was talking about these two young guys, 20-year-old guys, and they wanted to start a business or something, and they didn't know what to do. So they got a book, I think it was, and went through 10 different products, and then oh, right, well, that's the one. That's the one we're going to do. They chose that product, and they set up a business around it. And now they're like, well, it's worth 30 million quid. Well, what do we do? Only now are they creating a life goal so that they know what they could do and where they can go and how they want to spend stuff and spend their time and do their thing. Life goals are why people like Richard Branson and Sir Alan Sugar, all these other billionaires, and Gates and what's his name, the little trader, Buffett, they don't sit around just on the beach, like everyone says, filing their nails and drinking bloody beer. You know, people say to me, oh, if I won a lotto, mate, I'd be on holiday. I'd be living in Spain. I'd be living in Australia, Bahamas, whatever. I'd have a Rolls Royce and Freya. This is why people who win lotto, most of them, it's all bloody squandered and gone. One thing that you need to do when you win a bloody lotto, if you win a lotto, sit down, lock it in the bank, set yourself a bloody life goal, and set other financial achievements and other personal achievements and improvements around that. Good? So let's get back on track. Any more questions? Yeah, lots of questions coming through. We'll answer some of the questions. So you need to get your goal set, like we just said. Get yourself a goal buddy. Remember your mindset. What's going to help your mindset? Your mindset is going to be helped by setting your goals using the 6 human needs, because it will be personal. It'll be about you, not John down the road. He's earning 10 grand a month. I'm just going to copy him. And if he says shit, I'll say shit. And if he says cowboy, I'll say cowboy. That's how I'm going to make money. You'll last a year if you're lucky, because you're not being true to yourself. You need to be true to yourself to be able to do this. You need to review your goals weekly with your goal buddy. Absolutely. There are other things that you need to think about as well. You know, like I said, you know, what are you good at? Go and see your mates. Find out what your strengths are. Find out this is a SWOT test. Find out what your weaknesses are. Find out what the opportunities are. Don't say to yourself, I'm going to go and invent apples, this crunchy little thing that's quite sweet and red skinned or green skinned that you can eat and you sell it in shops, when they've been around for bloody hundreds and hundreds of years. You know, make sure there is an opportunity there before you start a business. Don't just dream up something. You know, a lot of people I know have said to them, they say to me, oh, you know, what about extra batteries or covers for iPhones? Oh, you mean like these ones that have been done for the last bloody 20 years or whatever it is? Oh, yeah, didn't think of that. But what about if we call a mouse a cat and people click it with a different thumb or finger? Make sure there is an opportunity there before you start running down the bloody avenue of lost and shamed. And then you think about your threats. What are the threats to you as a person and to your business? So my friend John that I'm talking about, who was in the wheelchair, he had a massive threat that was created by no fault of his own, and the fact that he couldn't walk, and he was told that he may not actually survive when they put him in a coma, and you know, told his wife to be, wasn't even married then, supposed to be getting married a month after, and you know, she's by his side and she looked after him and stuck there to him. His bigger threat was not his health, but his mindset. So when he came out of that, he could have just said, you know, I'll fight for the insurance and never work again and just do whatever. People can say, I don't care for what, I just lay in bed all day. I don't care. I'll just get fat and just die. I don't care because I can't walk. His biggest threat was his mindset. But with not just me, but loads of other friends he got around him constantly, and not falsely giving him praise for what he's doing, like meaning it from the heart. Never give false praise. It's just shit. People see through it. And just motivation, and not even motivation, encouraging him to be John. You know, and he said to me the other day, I said to him, you know, he was not scuba dive, snorkeling. And I said, mate, you look free. You look like you're having fun and you're unsupported and you're doing it on your own. And he said to me, it's one of the few times I actually feel like everyone else, because he's in the water and everyone else is obviously floating as well. You can't walk in the water. So his biggest threat was his mindset. So, and I would say that whether you get hurt in a car accident or not, your biggest threat for achieving a goal, not setting a goal, anyone can set a goal. Your biggest threat for achieving a goal is your mindset. Yes, I can. No, I can't. You either do or you don't, and the choice is yours. Achieving goals is hard work. Don't kid yourself. But if you set yourself a system, get yourself a goal buddy, somebody there to keep, reminding you of why you're doing this. Now, I'll tell you the easiest way to achieve a goal. Here's your little golden nugget. This is what you do. You create your life goal and then you set your other goals. Rip all the detailed shit out of it. You don't need detail. I'm going to be here at 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday. I'm going to have my meeting. I'm doing this on Wednesday and Thursday. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this every bloody morning. Tick off the box every bloody morning for the next fucking 5 years. All you're doing is admin. That's all you're doing. And I know there are people out there who get up at 5 a.m., shower, shit and shave, and off you go, dear boy. Tally-ho. You're so into the detail that you've lost sight on what it is that you're actually bloody doing. You're a robot. Fucking 5 a.m. Good night, darling. Fuck off. I'm up at 5 a.m. kangarooing around. You get to the end of the day and the end of the month. So did you hit your goal? Like, what was it? What was my goal again? I don't know what my goal was, but I'll tell you what I did do. I got up at 5 a.m. every day and I did this and this and this. I got the fucking treadmill and I ran around here and I did that and blah, blah, blah. And I ate fucking green drinks all day and pooed white or whatever. But I can't remember what my goal is. This is how you achieve your goal. Ready? This one single thing. You don't have to register every morning. You don't have to worry about every morning. You say to yourself, what is the next thing or the next step that I have to do to achieve my goal? So if it's day one, you have to write down your goal. This is your next step. Write down your life goal. Write down the achievements that you want to get. Write down the improvements that you want. Write down the financial goals. Write them down. Now, you should not have any more than 3 goals per quarter. Some people say set 20 goals. Bullshit. Let me tell you why. If I sat here and wrote 20 goals down, well, there, I'd be fucking bored by the time I got to 4. Let alone what you may be. So you're like, yeah, okay, I got my 20 goals. And then I say to you, okay, so tell me about goal number 7. How are you going to contribute to the world and to yourself and to your family and to your financial pot? And how are you going to achieve number 5? And what's the improvement in number 9? In fact, I don't know. I just wrote them down. I don't really think I'm going to achieve these goals. It's like write them down. Fucking hell, more is better, they say. Well, it's not. Less is better. Because I can tell you, if you write down your life goal, you got that. Write down the achievement that you want over the next 3 months, what you want to achieve. a major achievement, like, one goal for, I got my first deal property, or I've got 5 properties. That could be your achievement you want to hit. And your financial goal is to hit 3 grand, 4 grand, 5 grand next 3 months, or 10 grand, or whatever it might be. And also, what do you want to improve on in the next 3 months? That's your 3 goals. Easy. Your life one's taken care of. Fix that. It'll take you a couple of hours at least. And then you only set 3 other goals per month. What you want to achieve: greatest achievement this quarter, boom. Greatest improvement this quarter, boom. Financial number this quarter, boom. That's it. And I can tell you what they are over and over again. Yes, number 19, number 20. What the fuck were they? I don't know. Because if you set these goals like I'm telling you, then according to the six human needs, then sweet, you're there. And it's easy to remember. And then you say to yourself, right, I've done number 1. I've set my goals. Will I hit 2 grand this month? Is it achievable this quarter? Absolutely. I can do this, this, this. Okay, what's my achievement? Well, I want to be a black belt. I've got to go and do my white belt first. Right, off we go. Tally-ho. Got to go and hit back belt, whatever it is, white belt number 1. And then improvements. Right, okay. I don't know what your improvement might be. It might be, do more cleaning around the house. And you need to be validated for this. You need to be validated. And, iron a shirt here and there or whatever. Iron 3 shirts for the month, or fill the dishwasher, or unload the dishwasher, or put the kids to bed, or take your sister out, take your brother out, or treat your boyfriend, treat your girlfriend, or go and see your uncle, or whatever it might be. Improve on your communication, improve on your connectability and these type of things. Remembering the 6 human needs again. Because I can tell you what, if you have your 6 human needs taken care of, guess what? Everyone else around you are humans, and you're taking care of 1 or 2 or 3 of their human needs as well, just by being you. Got that? So the key thing is, once you've got those goals set, what is the next step that you need to take to get to achieve that goal? So you've written it down, and you might say to yourself, a financial goal, I don't know how I'm going to hit 5 grand. I need to speak to someone. I'll speak to Ash, I'll speak to Lulu, or whoever it might be. I'd say, can you help me? You know more about this than I do. It might be actually going out to gain knowledge. Bang. Step 2, taken care of. Go and do a course, or go and speak to someone who's done a course, or it might be that you want to run. This is one of my little personal goals, and I have to share it with you because it will make me feel significant. So there's this thing called Couch to 5K. It's an app. Couch to 5K. It's an app, and it's 9 weeks of running, and it's 3 runs per week. And at the end of it, you get up to, and you start off with small steps, like you do a 3-minute run, then a 5-minute walk, 3-minute run, 5-minute walk, 2-minute run, 5-minute walk, whatever. And then you get up to the final week where you're doing 3 runs of 30 minutes each, and you try and hit the 5Ks. And guess what? Graduate, man. 9 weeks, look. I set myself a goal, but I thought, oh, I hate running. I hate it. So I said, right. My wife says, have a look at this app. She was doing it, and thinking, well, if you can run, I can run. Seriously, after 9 weeks, we're still running now. We're going out, have a little run. You go for your run, I'll go for my run. Off we go, tally-ho. Have we achieved our goal? Yes. Would I have achieved it without that assistance? No way. I'd have given up. I'd have gone out, tried to run my 5Ks, half an hour, going, I'm dead. I can't. My legs ache. They hurt. I've got sciatica, whatever. So think about what you need to assist you in getting to your goals. Good? Good. And that's your next step. Mine was the next step, get the app. Next step, hit week number 1. And week number 1, you can repeat the runs and everything. Get down to the gym on the treadmill, bang. All right, done. Done number 1. And bang, I'm checking these off 3 times a week for 9 weeks. Sometimes I did 4 or whatever. So off you go, bang, bang, bang. So, some people go to a slimming club to get that assistance, to get that accountability, and you have your way in. Obviously, the slimming club, they know what they're doing by way of goals. You set yourself a slimming goal, weight loss goal, You need people around you to help you, motivate you, encourage you, etc., etc., etc. So, good. So what's the big fat secret? All you've got to do is know what the next step is for you to achieve your goal. That's all you've got to do. Repeat it to yourself. I need to know what the next step is in achieving my goal, and I'll go out and I'll frickin' do it now. Off you go. Good. I think I've covered. I made about 8-9 pages of notes. You can see all different notes to make sure I give you plenty of detail. So set your goals, get your goal buddy, get educated or get help. It's free. The app is free. Take action on that, and you will achieve your goals. You know, if set yourself the time frames as well, and away you go. It's not hard to set the goals. And the easiest way to achieve the goals is knowing what the next step is and going out and hitting that next step. So, you know, if you struggle with you know what your life goal is all about, you know, think about your career, whether it's in a job, a job, or if it's working for yourself. What is it that you want to achieve career-wise? You know, so you could put that down as a life goal. I want to be the CEO of my company, or I want to be the managing director, or the sales manager, or I want to be the head, you know, physio, or whatever it is, or the champion football player, or some dude in property. And then you say, right, you know, how much money is that going to deliver to me? Can I get what's the actual maximum that I can get to? You know, what education do I need to be able to achieve my life goal? So if you want to be a lawyer, you're going to have to go and do a law degree. Do you see what I mean? Family, you know, do you want to start a family? Do you want kids? If you can't have kids, what are you going to do? Are you going to adopt? If you don't want kids whatsoever, you know, are you going to, like, you know, hang around with your mates, or, you know, you're going to travel, or, you know, you're going to take care of your family, or I don't know, whatever it might be around family. It's not always about being a parent. You know, how do you want to be seen maybe as a partner, as how do you want to be seen as a husband or a wife? You know, how do you want to be seen in the community as well, or your extended family? You know, are you artistic? Do you want to achieve any artistic goal? I'm not artistic. I couldn't draw a bloody curtain sometimes, you know, and that's why it's not relevant to me, the artistic stuff. It may be to you. You may be quite creative in what you do. And it doesn't mean that just because you're creative, you have to draw stuff. You can be creative in anything that you do. You know, your attitude, you know, is your mindset what is holding you back? You know, is there a part of you maybe that you don't like how you behave? Is there a part of you that you wish you could improve upon? You know, could you be a better listener? You know, could you talk a bit more? Could you do more for other people? Could you do less for other people? Sometimes people don't reckon a bit over the top, mate. You know, it's up to you, you know, and set a goal to improve your behavior, or set a goal even to find a solution to improving yourself. You know, it may be that you don't have a clue on what you want to improve on, and then somebody says, mate, you just never listen. You say, right, okay, so where can I find somewhere on how to learn how to listen more? Right, you might get educated in something, but your goal for the next 3 months may be, how do I find, you know, somebody to help me with listening more, or whatever it is, or improving behavior. You know, your physicality, you know, how am I going to lose weight that I've put on over Christmas, or how am I going to lose weight that I've been putting on since I was bloody 10 years old? Could it be a mindset thing? Is it a physical thing? Is it because you don't exercise? Do you exercise? It could be some other health issue that you have and you can't help it. So one of your goals may be, go and find out, have some checks. You know, if I'm fighting fit, yeah, right, get out there, get the bloody 5K, couch to 5Ks up, and away you go. You know, do those type of things. And it could be things like like that make you feel good, like holidays, you know, things that bring pleasure to you. I want to go on holiday, or you know, I want to go for a walk along the beach, or I want to live on the beach, or live near a beach, or I want to move countries, or you know, I did it. I thought, yeah, it was great. I loved it. So all these type of things, and it could be like to the public world. You know, what are you doing out there for the community? You're gonna help the community. You're gonna help fundraise things. It doesn't all have to be about making money. You know, it could be that you know, look at Mother Teresa. She didn't care about making money, and yet she, you know, she's now a saint, although gone, bless her, but helped thousands and thousands of poor people. So it's up to you. It's up to you where you want to be. But the main thing is you need to stay on course. And to stay on course, you just need to review and update yourself on your to-do list. And your to-do list is only one thing for those 3 goals each month. So you've only got 3 things on your to-do list. And the to-do list is your next action for each goal. Piece of piss. You know, just make sure they are, you know, significant to you or specific. You know, part of the SMART system is the specific. Is it measurable? So or even meaningful, if you like. So, you know, if you want to say, you know, I want to earn 10 grand a month, well, who's going to make you accountable? Your goal buddy, and say, well, how much you're earning now? I'm making 500 or nothing. Right, okay. Show me how you're earning that extra money. Make sure it's measurable. And it could be just the action that you're taking. Where have you been this week? What have you been doing? You know, what have you been up to? And make sure it's attainable, you know. Attainable means it must be action orientated. If you don't have enough time to achieve it in a year, then maybe it should be a 3-year goal. But I would say for now, just set your 3-month goals, and your life goal is your ultimate end. And then, you know, is it relevant to you and to what you want to do? You don't just do it because someone else is doing it. Like John next door selling property, you bloody hate the sight of property and you prefer cars. Right, I'll go and build cars and you know, refurbish them and sell them, or whatever it might be, rebuild them. And make sure that whatever goal that you do set for yourself in your life and your other 3 goals each month, make sure that those goals are rewarding, that you do feel significant. You're like, wow, you know what? I feel great that I did that. You know, if your goal is to lose 2 kilos over the next 3 months and you do it, you're like, wow, you know what? I can fit into that dress, that shirt, whatever it might be. But if your goal is to go and put on bloody 10 kilos, you might feel a bit like shit. So make sure it's rewarding for you as well. And always, part of the SMART system is make sure it's time bound and trackable. You know, so when are you going to achieve it by? This is why I set 3-month goals and hit it, because, you know, if you hit your 2K in 3 months, you then hit your next 3Ks, you set up for another 2K, so you're hitting 4K. By the end of the year, you're going to have your 10K piece of cake. You might even smash it with the 12, 14K per month. Do you see what I mean? So you don't have to look too far ahead. And like I said, forget the detail. Forget the detail. And every goal should be a positive goal. You know, I want to lose weight because I want to fit into that dress and go to the bloody school reunion, whatever it is, and look like I just left school. Whatever it is, you know, I don't know what it is. I'm just making things up now. Or, you know, it could be something a bit more significant where, you know, you might say to yourself, you know, I've hit me £1 million a year. I'm going to give half of it away. You know, take my son and buy a load of envelopes and see how many homeless people we can give money to, you know, that type of thing. Be precise, be very precise in your goal setting. Know exactly what it is. Like I said, with the SMART system, you can use for precision, like putting in your dates, putting in your times, what the goals are. Like I said about the building the house, what color is the house going to be, how many bedrooms, how big is the kitchen going to be, what type of kitchen, how many cars, is it going to be carport, is it going to be garage, how many acre lands, all that type of thing. And that's where you get the bit of the bullshit about the law of attraction, that type of thing. You're always going to attract stuff that you work towards. You're always going to attract things from the people that you socialize with. If you socialize with bikies, you're going to attract lots of badness, naughty shit, you know, police. If you socialize with the churchgoers, you're probably not going to attract the police. Do you see what I mean? So if your vision is to be in jail, Don't hang around in church, hang around out somewhere else. So, you know, set your priorities as well. Make sure that those goals are given a priority. So if you are in a situation where your finances need to be fixed pronto, that should be your priority. So when you're looking at your achievements, your improvements, and your financial goals, your financial goal will be the first step that you take, your next step for that goal, to achieve that goal. It may be that you take 2 steps for every financial goal, and then you take 1 step for the other ones. Just it may, until you have that financial freedom in place. Keep all the operational shit down to the minutiae, smallest detail. Don't worry about it. Just do what you need to do next. Don't write a big bloody spreadsheet, and it's just a waste of time, because it will bore the shit out of you. You'll never ever want to set a goal again. And you should set yourself more sort of I said the realistic stuff. I spoke about that, didn't I? But you know that you can achieve that, you know, more by time. Good. I think we've probably covered it. Hit me with some questions if you've got questions. I'm pretty sure I've covered pretty much everything. Actually, one more thing I need to cover. And this is the last thing I'll cover. And it's a good thing actually to end on. With your time that you spend on achieving your goals and taking the next step that you need to take, what you need to think about is how can I put this in a simplified way? You can be only one thing at one time. You can't do or think about 2 things. You can't think about 2 things at the same time. So you need to be resourceful or unresourceful. You can't be both. So what I mean by that is, if you're helping someone else, and let's say you might be a goal buddy to someone else. If you are being negative about that person and creating conflict, if you like, for that person within themselves for their goals, then you need to just piss off pretty quick and leave them alone and go and sort yourself out, as in your head. What I would suggest as well, especially for new people, if you're getting into property or whatever it is you're getting into, I always talk property because I'm property. If you're on Facebook, dibba dibba dabba dibba dabba dum, you're a bit of a warrior, and you're putting people down, or you're trying to create conflict or bollocks for the sake of creating conflict, then you are wasting your life and you will never achieve your life goal. Seriously. If you can't say anything good, or if you can't leave the keyboard alone, stay there, fuck off the keyboard. In fact, I would say this. If you're not making money on Facebook, if you're not using it as a tool to make money or to learn, get off Facebook. You don't need it. Get off Instagram if you're not making money or educating yourself. Get off Instagram. You don't even need Snapchat. Twitter's a load of crap now, unless you're following the President of the United States of America. So think about it. Are you being resourceful or are you being unresourceful? This is not just for setting goals. This is everything in life. Am I being resourceful today? Am I being positive? Am I doing my next step to achieve my goal? Or am I sitting there going, these dickheads on Facebook don't know what they're talking about, and yet you probably know less? because there are Google warriors, I call them. You go on Facebook and all these other forums. They go on Google. They don't know anything about what you're talking about. Go on Google. Oh, and actually, you know what? You're wrong. Why? Because Mr. and Mrs. Google said so. And yet they have zero experience. So that's being unresourceful. Gossiping is another form of being unresourceful. Being a bloody victim or a martyr or negative in any way whatsoever in a public forum or to someone else is actually coming to you trying to achieve goals, then just shut up. Put your gloves on, your mittens, so you can't type. Put some tape around it and think about your life goal. Is all this shit helping you achieve it? No way. You're better off going and do some flossing or whatever you do. So, how do you be resourceful? You become a leader in a way. You help other people via your goals, taking your next step. You gather people around you, your inner circle, if you want to call it that. You gather people around you to help you achieve your next step. Because I can tell you this, if somebody's helping you achieve their next step, you can help them achieve their next step. You know, you can even tell them this with the goal setting. It's a very simple process. So be positive, be helpful, and above all else, always, always, always be yourself. Because I can tell you what, let me just have, there's quite a few people on here. There's a few people I don't know, but there are people I know. So I look at the people on here, and all of you are very individual. So I know my cousin, obviously. Good girl, sort of. Lee, so Sarah has all of her individual qualities, very detailed. Lee has some awesome, you want to talk about Lee, has some awesome qualities and is a true fighter from the heart. Rashid, awesome detailed guy. All I would say is that if you were to leverage other people and teach them what you know and show them the systems that you do, you'll make a shitload of money. Ian, young Ian, awesome. Still on here. Look at this. 21 years old. This guy's going to make some money. I know that. Trisha, about to embark on a world that's unknown to her, that's super positive, because I'm going to turn her into the super positive and she's going to make lots of money. She just discovered that her area is fantastic. Tim, mate, say no more. Tim, I don't even want to get into Tim because I will get emotional. But Tim, mate. Nigel, what a star. Awesome. What an achievement you've had in the last 2 years. We all occasionally get those side steps, like my friend who's in a wheelchair. But I tell you what, that's not even a threat for you, Nigel. You just push through, mate, and work through it. I don't mean push through it, go, yeah, go on, let's do it. Get the life goals done. Get the improvement goals done. Get the achievement. Learn from what you've done. Don't learn from your mistakes. Learn from what you've done. Look back only to see how far you've come. That's all. Good. And there's loads of others on here, but we don't have time. So let's round this up. Let's summarize. Get your piece of paper. Write down life on the top. Put down your dreams. What it is you want to achieve in life. And make sure it is associated to you. When I said be yourself, make sure it's associated to you. Because then if you're doing what you love, everything else is going to follow. You're always going to have credibility. You're never going to slip up because you're doing what you do. I'm doing what I love here. I don't have to do this goal setting thing. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to help you. And, I feel great helping other people. And if one of you goes out and follows this, and I know there's a few of you will, but if there's only one of you, I'm happy because somebody's going out achieving their life goal. Happy days. Could you be any more happy if somebody walked into your house today, even if it's virtual like this, and said, hey, how you doing? Let me just have an hour of your time. I'm going to tell you this. Boom, 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 boom. They go out. Thanks to you, they've gone and achieved their life goal. How do you feel? Freaking awesome. Shit if you haven't gone and done yours. So practice what you preach. So get your bit of paper, write the life dream down, and then break your life down into quarters for the next 12 months. Don't go 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. You've got your life goal for that. Because if you set your improvement, your achievement, and your financial goals now, and the magic is to do the next step that it takes to reach that goal, then you are going to achieve your goals. Once you achieve your goals, step them up each time. Step them up. For the first quarter, I'd ask you to do this. Choose an easy goal. If you think you want to make $3,000, go for $1,000. Because then you'll be like, I can hit my goal. I hit my goal, hit my goal. Party, party, party. I hit my goal. Not only did I hit my financial goal, I improved on this and I achieved this. I'm happy. Happy as a pig in poo. Good. That's all you've got to do to achieve your goals. Make sure that number one thing as well, I liken it all to the 6 human needs, and then it will truly be about you. And if you've got other significant others, whatever it might be, whatever you call it, then those people will all benefit too, because if you've done it around your six human needs, the other people, you've done it because there's other people involved as well. So the other people around you will benefit. You know, that's all I've got to say. That's it for today. Any more questions? Otherwise, I'm wrapping up. I'm going to go and give my kids who are sleeping a little kiss on the cheek. That's it from me. Thank you. Thanks for your time, guys. I intended half an hour. We're probably just on an hour. Well, no. Wow. An hour and 20. Good. Thank you. You're welcome. Good. You're welcome too. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you, Trish. Always enthusiastic. Oh, what's the app? The app was called... How do I get out of the bloody thing now? Couch to 5K. Couch to numerical 5, capital K. Couch to 5K. You're welcome, Rashid. You're welcome, Phil. Thank you. Thanks, woman. Thanks. Thanks, James. Thank you. Yes, see you on the 15th. Yes. And for those coming to the course on the 19th, some of you are here. See you there. Look forward to meeting you. Those that I don't know. Yes, speak to you tomorrow, Jack. We're out Tuesday. Good, good, good. Welcome. Thanks, guys. You made it through a webinar of mine. Yes, chat to you before then. Good, good, good. Look forward to it. Good. Thanks, Steve. Thank you. Thanks, thanks, thanks. There is a recording coming out if you'd like to go through it all again. Take care. Bye.